The size of the trachea. You see how big that is?
That's huge.
The pigs are usually about that big. So that's why I think this was a little calf. And y'all hear that?
I'm gonna show this video.
Yeah. Oh, good.
The
Yeah,
fat
maybe you can send it to
around
us.
the heart is almost solid. Come here, Taylor. Come get up on stage. Feel how hard that is. Tap it.
Yummy.
And it hasn't been refrigerated. Well, no, it was refrigerated earlier for a little while after they cut it out. Okay, so this is what's referred to as a pluck. Now, you can contact your local butcher shops. We get them free. Mr. Kurt fixes us up. We get them several times a year. I've probably, since January, I've probably picked up 6 of them from him. And so he doesn't charge us. Just as kind of a little extra thing for him. Every now and then I'll put a story in the paper through our PR department thanking him and how the paramedic students are doing hands-on wet labs, you know, because of the generosity of this local businessman, and give him a little plug for him. So he's satisfied with that. Not that he asked for it, but we just did it anyway. Okay, so this is referred to as a pluck, and I think it's just simply because you pluck it out of the carcass for no other reason. So as you can see here, this is the trachea, and if you rub your finger in, you can feel the cartilage rings, just like a vacuum cleaner hose. If you pull suction on something, if it didn't have that, it would simply just suck closed. And so this the fat here always amazes me as to how hard it is. It's almost like wooden. And everybody be quiet. You hear that? It's like I'm tapping on a desktop. And so what we have here, this is, this is the pericardial sac. You see this tissue right here, right? And so we're going to cut through that. Now, I don't know for school if y'all can have these. Y'all can?
Biology,
Okay, good. Oh, no, why doesn't that surprise me that you having trouble with it? Yeah. Oh, you got your own.
Oh, God.
What schools y'all at? Oh, wow, okay.
Okay, so even this is the sac. This part?
It's attached to the outside of the sac, yeah. This is
So
just
that's
fatty
like a fatty
deposits.
tissue.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So this is the inside of the pericardial sac. Very smooth. And then you'll have a little bit of fluid that's in there, but
Wow.
amazing, huh?
Oh, yeah, the heart's very...
That's what happens
That's
when
like
you live on
almost
corn,
bone.
corn-fed beef. Yeah. Yeah, now, yeah, and all hearts have fat on them to some extent. Now, this heart, you can see, is really big. Your own heart, if you make your fist kind of like this, that's about the size of your own heart, a human heart.
My friend was saying yesterday.
Chris?
That this was a disservice to us. It's not a true representation.
Well, maybe I can get him to volunteer his
No,
heart.
no, no. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Look, if you dissect a chicken's heart, you're gonna see the same structure.
Is it above the
angle of Louis.
Angle of Louis.
Angle of Louis.
Louis?
angle of Louis?
Yeah.
Do the demonstration
No.
for y'all, but he's at lunch.
Oh, that's all good. Where?
We are all done.
This is the
Umbilicus.
They didn't have too much spaghetti, so I
Is that superior to the umbilicus?
what I typically do is I'm going to take the heart away from all the big vessels, and then we're going to start cutting down into it. See that how big the walls and vessels are.
Yeah, it's some good muscle, huh?
Dissection always makes
Well,
kids think
just
I'm
be
so
very
gangster
careful
because I can
with
cut
the
through all this
I'm
stuff.
trying to
They're
keep the
like,
blade away from you.
because I'm such a nice teacher, and then when I get to teach them things they did not I know.
Hey, you touch the lung. What is your name?
Heather, sorry.
Touch that lung, girl. That's real.
Pull that one back.
That's kind of the danger zone there.
Yeah,
So,
no, I was just telling you, touch it.
Oh, it's cold.
yeah.
All right, watch your toes. I was just telling you to.
Yeah, oh, feel how soft it is, yeah.
In case this slips, I just don't want to cut it.
Y'all in there like they doing surgery.
Okay,
That's all hard.
so this is your heart, all right?
No, that's your.
This is your heart on drugs.
This is your bleeding heart.
Right. Okay, so you see these little floppy looking things right here?
Yeah.
That's actually the atria. They kind of look like little ears. So I can't tell you which one's the right or the left just yet. Once we cut into it, it'll be more obvious.
You don't know your right from left?
Well,
No.
feeling the love here. Okay. All right, but notice the thickness of the vessels of the aorta that comes off because there's a lot of pressure. I'm going to cut down into this, and so you'll see some of the coronary arteries that come off of the aorta. They're just little holes in the wall of these vessels here. So let's anatomy-wise, of course, this is your apex, which actually points down.
Right.
So you have your left and right ventricles. These are the coronary arteries, these tubes here. And so, yeah, I'm trying not to splat you
I was
there.
like, I'm just.
And
yeah,
so
'cause the blood is coming.
one of the things that I always ask the kids is, okay, so which side of the heart has to work harder than the other ventricle-wise? Which gives you more resistance, pushing blood through the entire body or through the lungs? And so therefore, when you work a muscle harder, which one would you expect to be thicker? The left. And so we're going to cut this in half right here. And so you're going to clearly see the left ventricle is about almost an inch thick, and the right one's maybe a half inch thick. So that's usually what I do next.
And that'll cut through the whole thing?
Yeah, I'll have to saw through most
I was
of
gonna
it,
say,
but it works pretty well.
yeah, it's definitely not a little pig heart.
No.
You know, I was like, my tools work really well on those little fetal pigs, you know?
Knocking everybody on.
Fried heart.
It makes a good gravy.
It does.
Okay, so now, okay, so this is the part that I cut off, and I probably cut a little too low. Notice the thickness of the ventricle here. This is the left ventricle compared to the right ventricle.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of. It's not like this big floppy thing. It's very thick. Okay, so let's cut. We're gonna
see
cut
that
into the
atrium?
right.
It's not as hollow as what I'm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, because all your drawings show it like big chambers.
Right.
You know?
Actually,
They are bigger
Chili
than.
peppers.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's closed up.
Yeah.
this is just a
He's
big
gonna
clot.
show you.
Oh, poor
And so
cow.
this is just a clot. This is what happens when you have a large amount of blood and it coagulates. It sort of looks like a piece of liver. Okay, now, anatomy-wise, notice. Good?
Atrium.
ones you gotta worry about.
Y'all see the structure of the muscle here?
Yeah.
That's why the heart contracts on itself. It doesn't contract in a long axis. It balls up on itself because the muscles are going in all kinds of different directions all throughout the heart. Notice? Even if you cut into a chicken heart, next time you cook a chicken, cut it in half, you're going to see this on the inside. Okay, see these little stringy things right here?
When you buy a whole
That's
fry,
called chordae tendineae,
inside, heart's
right? Chordae tendineae. And they attach at these, you can either say papillary or papillary muscles, depending if you say mayonnaise or mayonnaise. See this tissue right here? This is your heart valve.
But what did you call it?
Chordae tendineae is the strings, and then this kind of floppy material here, this is your heart valve. The way your heart valves work, you see this little piece of tissue? That's your heart valve. It's not much, huh?
Let me see.
No.
I want to see.
And the way it, see this right here? This is your heart valve. And the way it works is just like, actually that would be the right heart, right side, so that would be your tricuspid, right. And so the way the heart valves work is imagine a parachute, and so the blood goes against it, the parachute opens and seals. When the blood tries to flow in the other direction, the parachute collapses and allows the blood to pass. That's how it works, just like that. And that keeps you alive for your entire life, that flimsy little piece of tissue. So as you age and you start to get calcifications on that, you start to well, hey, that's just today of all days, right? So, as you age, you start to get calcifications on that. That's when you start to have regurgitation problems where it doesn't seal as good. The blood goes back where it's not supposed to because it's always trying to go to path of least resistance. So if you have a valve replacement, they may actually go in and replace that whole device with a mechanical, and you hear clicking when you listen to it. You might have pig valves, which are actually, well, not this one, but very similar. They sew those in there somehow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We saw a heart. I took a cadaver lab at LSU, and I actually dissected the human heart, but one of our hearts had a bypass and had valve replacement. And you could still see like where the stitches were and it's still, I mean, yeah, it was pretty cool, it really was.
Now, I've never seen one in person, but the bypasses, I've seen photographs and it kind of looks like spaghetti.
It is.
Because they
It
take
is.
the